Welcome to One More. I'm your host, Brian Erickson. Each week, we sit down with two new guests on the big, comfy leather couch, and we figure out why they do what they do. And this week is no exception. This week, we have the Mercury brothers and Rachel Anna Dobkin joining us. But first, and as always, Chris Dubrow.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
All right, man. How are you?
Good, good. We spent a little time together this weekend.
We spent a little time together. We were blessed to play.
Blessed.
The Burns was blessed to play Terminal C, CGBGs at Newark Airport.
It was really fun.
I had a blast. I had no sleep. I did not know what was going on. Reality stopped existing for me.
Were
you the one that I was like, at one point I just looked up, I was like, I may have been here for 17 hours. I may have been here for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes, yeah.
Did not know what reality
Time was just a relative concept.
Yeah, you know.
Inside the Terminal C CBGBs.
At Newark Airport.
Yeah.
I'm proud to announce I have a residency there now. So I'm playing there every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
6 a.m. to 6:21
Yeah,
a.m.
21 minutes, same set every week.
Yep.
Panama, that's it, we're out.
Oh, I thought it would have been hash pipe 11 times.
Oh, did we tell
Beverly
you?
Hills twice,
and then
hash pipe 6 more times.
Yeah,
7 more times? 6 or 7 more times?
Dude, who told you about that? Jacqueline didn't tell you about that?
You told me about that at least 6 times. You told me about it 6 times.
Well, yeah.
Jack Linden told me about it twice.
A few times.
And then you told me about it 7 more times.
So I made a thing called Weezer's Greatest Hits, which is hash pipe 11 times, and then in Beverly Hills twice, and then hash pipe 7 more times. Want to see how many times you can listen to hash pipe before you go insane? The answer, of course, being a bunch of times.
Have you heard Toto's version?
Yeah,
I'm a little disappointed.
I hear reality no longer matters, and just God is dead. Chaos
I like
reigns.
that Rachel. As soon as I said Toto's version, Rachel there was gestures and there was what was it?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
it on air. Yeah.
Rachel, we haven't introduced you yet.
That's all right, though. That's
fine. We'll bring it on.
No, now we have to unpack that. I mean, I've got a slate of questions that we're going to roundly ignore now.
Just throw it out.
That's it.
Both bands. We're talking about Toto. We're talking about Weezer.
Yeah.
We're talking about hash pipes. I'm still unemployed. If anyone needs to hire someone with no qualifications, you can find me on Twitter.
Well, our former guest, Dan Drago, built a virtual hot dog / lemonade stand.
I tried to hack into that matrix. They wouldn't let me in. No, I'm not that good of a hacker. I did hack into the White House, and I can confirm not very good in there.
Didn't you hack into the Isla Nublar security system so you could steal those dinosaur embryos?
I can either confirm or deny.
25 years ago?
Listen, I don't want to talk about who may or may not have caused Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2, but not Jurassic Park 3. That was William H. Macy to cause Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
Speaking of William H. Macy, there's 3 people. That's all. I didn't have a good segue for that one. I don't know. I thought 3. Do you want to just bring on the first
William
H.
Macy and 3.
Whoa. Yeah,
that is
not great. Not great.
That's a stretch.
Well, what I do is I just try to find something to make it happen. And speaking of something to make happen. No.
Sometimes you don't need an angle. Okay? Sometimes you don't need an angle.
It's just when I was young, my mom always told me to have an angle, and then I was really into wrestling, and Kurt Angle was my favorite.
He was good, though. It's true.
And then I was bad at geometry, so I had struggled with angles. So just I don't know what to tell you anymore, man. My favorite prime minister is Angela Merkel.
All right, so we're going to bring up our first guests. Let us welcome Luke, Ryan, and Mike of the Mercury Brothers.
You guys, thank you.
Come on in. Hey, absolutely. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh, you guys brought Dan with you.
We did bring Dan.
Excellent. Can we get a close-up on Dan? Yeah, let's make sure we do that.
I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah.
It's such an honor.
No, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate Dan taking the time
he's very happy
to show up, especially because we actually didn't have a show scheduled, and we made sure we had them open up the building specifically so that we could have him here. So we really appreciate him taking that time. So let's go around and introduce everybody.
My name is Luke. Luke McKenna. I play the drums in the Mercury Brothers.
Yeah, you do.
My name is Mike Mazza, and I play lead guitar in the Mercury Brothers.
All right.
And I'm Ryan LaSalle, and I play bass in the Mercury Brothers. And this is our fearless leader, Dan Appy.
Dan Appy, yeah. And he sings in the Mercury
Yeah,
Brothers?
he sings. He writes a lot of the lyrics.
Okay.
Songwriter, singer, rhythm guitar player. Does lead so often.
Okay. And he so we're only let's get into the questions. Now we're only about a year removed from the first record. It came out last August, and since then you've added Mike. You guys were a trio, and now you're getting ready to solidify this sort of 2.0 lineup with a new record. It comes out this Friday.
This Saturday, actually.
Or I'm sorry, this Saturday. God, how can I not connect those two things? It comes out this Saturday. You guys are playing Asbury Lanes.
Yeah, we are. We're playing with Asbury Lanes with Rachel and Dobkin, and Chris's band, The Burns, are going to be there. We also got Emily Grove.
Oh, she's so good.
And the Double Negatives, who are also fantastic.
That's a lineup right there.
So drunk by
It's gonna be the party. We're all invited.
Excellent.
Even me?
Yeah.
Even
Especially you, Chris.
Dan.
Especially you.
We're all gonna be there.
And Dan.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yes.
So apparently this album only took, 2 days to record?
We did
well,
it
Right? Wasn't it like tracking over 2 days?
We tracked it
Yeah.
in 6 hours, actually, about one day. Yeah, we did it. We went to the studio, did about 3 takes of each song, and then just picked one of the 3 and just moved on to the next song.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
How do changes in personnel affect how the band works? Like, what was the difference between, say, recording the first one and doing this one with, kind of adding a new member?
Well, with Mike, it's a lot easier, to be honest. I mean, he takes a lot of weight off of the 3 of us. It's from what I'm learning, being a 3-piece, you have to really, really bring a lot. And having that 4th ear and filling in those holes, I mean, it took not very much for the rest of us to be able to just adapt. You know what I mean? It just kind of happened, very even flow.
Excellent.
Yeah. Even flow. Okay.
Wow, we should have you guys. We should have you singing.
Well, I used to, but then I put Trash Can Dan in the driver's seat.
So you've been a band since 2015, but it feels like you really just kind of started to find your legs last year. And how'd this all get started? How'd you all meet one another?
Well, it started with me and Dan have been playing music together for a very long time, since we were kids. And for years and years, me and Dan did the kind of acoustic singer-songwriter. I played acoustic bass, he played acoustic guitar, no percussion, very kind of light stuff. And then we kept talking about bringing a drummer in because we really wanted to put the acoustics down and plug in and kind of get a little bit louder, so to speak. And I was working at Dean's, and this guy started working there, and I heard he played drums. And I was like, we've been looking for a drummer. Everyone we play with hasn't really vibed very well with us.
Where were you working? What's that place?
Dean's.
Dean's, what's that?
It's a grocery store, like a natural food market kind of, yeah. This was a few years ago. And we invited Luke to a session at our rehearsal studio, and it clicked almost immediately. I mean, we played Voodoo Child, I think it was, by Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it took like a half hour we were in, and I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
So there was no real difficulty in getting like once the 3 of you sort of coalesced around one another, like it was.
Yeah, it just
you
started
just sort of knew.
Because me and Dan had played with drummers before, and every time we did, it just didn't really click. But then for whatever reason, we did a 2-hour session with Luke, and by the end of the session, we just knew that he was our drummer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when did you start realizing that you might be turning a corner and gaining a little more recognition, locally around here?
It's hard to say, man. We don't really take recognition, I mean, it's
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. It's certainly true.
Yeah, I mean, there comes a time when you see people singing the words and the music isn't recorded, that you're playing it out to them, and I mean, your heart turns a little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's that like?
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a truly overwhelming feeling to have that connection with the people who want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
Now, has there been anyone in particular, working with you to help move things along, or has it been just kind of just a general group effort or a band effort?
I mean, when you think about it, Cranston Dean, he put us right in the first doorway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He heard us play at the Pickle like 1 or 2 times and was like, "You guys should play a show." You know what I mean? There were there's others.
Oh, yeah, and then we brought Mike into the fold, obviously, with this new record because we needed more sound. And even most recently, we got Kale Martin and 3143 Management on us now too, helping us on that side of things, with the booking side and promotion and things like that.
How did that all come about? Because I feel like that's, a lot of bands, that's something a lot of bands sort of look for, wish they had. And, how did the band sort of come across that opportunity?
Well, I think it started with he's doing a YouTube series, the guy Kevin, and he contacted us because he really liked our album in Retrograde. And he wanted to use one of the tracks for his YouTube show, his series. He messaged us saying,
he used Steal Away.
Yeah, he used Steal Away exactly for the intro for the South Jersey, and then I guess a few weeks later he came to one of our shows to actually see us, and then I think a few days after that we got a message from him saying, hey, I'm starting this management company. I really like what you guys are doing. If you guys want to sit down and have a talk about seriously getting a manager, let's do that. And then the four of us all met at Anchor's Bend in Asbury Park. We sat for about an hour, and that was it. We pulled them on board. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm sure that didn't hurt as you were putting this new record together and getting the show together and stuff. You find it's a little easier to have the sort of weight and pressure lifted off your shoulders, when it comes to kind of the business end of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the stress of booking everything, promoting everything, recording it all on your own, and on top of that, writing the music and playing it was starting to, because we all work Monday through Friday jobs.
Yeah, of course.
So I think
don't we all? Well, except for Chris. Except for Chris, he doesn't.
So I think the pressure of that was really starting to get to us, especially as we were getting busier, and you can definitely notice the weight lifted off of it. It's like I definitely feel like I spend much less time worrying about anything but just playing and writing music now.
Good, as it should be.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't gotten to hear the new record. I mean, I heard the single when it came out over the spring, but the last, in Retrograde, the first record, genre-wise, kind of hopped around a little bit. And I feel like doing that can be important early on. Like, how essential is it to show versatility on record like that, especially in those early stages?
Yeah, I mean, we did that in the way of saying, well, here's what we can do, and as we continued writing more and also playing the other songs that we had, it was like, well, and here's also what we're fully into and what we're about, and that's what this next one's coming out. I mean, it means a lot to us.
I'm sorry, were you?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say kind of with what Luke said too. That first album, we had more songs that we were playing already than we put on that album. That album we wanted to make sure that we could show everybody like what we can do and like what we're capable of almost before and this album tends to have definitely more of a singular direction. This album that kind of definitely has more of a cohesive tone throughout of it. Yeah.
How were you able to focus yourselves for this new one then?
Well, we kind of just said and agreed. We said, well, we're going to put this thing out. Let's do it. So we put on our pants and we got on the bike and we rode, man.
Booking the release show before
like,
the album's done.
That seems to be that definitely seems to be the trend around here. Like, book the release show.
So we both bands can make an agreement. We're not going to book release shows until the albums are done. Anymore.
Actually finished. Rachel too.
I don't know if I can make that promise.
Paper Jets have had their album done for 7 years and they're still booking their
and we still have no December 7th, guys. What?
Anyway. Well, I just think it's like funny because I've heard the album because they recorded it at my house.
At your house,
a few times, and I've been with Joey while he's been like listening back and like finding the difference in the two albums. In the end, like it still feels like last album felt like three guys in a room playing their songs together, and this album quite literally is four guys in a room playing their songs together. And like I like that the feel of the songs are different, but it still has that general tone, that general, I guess, jumping off point. It's like these are four men in a room. There's not a lot of overdubs. Everything is what it is. I respect that about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if nothing else, the last record was very clean sounding. Like even not a whole lot of like effects on any, vocals just clean. Not a lot of reverb. Like just very. Thank you. Yeah, just everything kind of. Here it is. Like take it or leave it. In a way.
That's kind of the way we recorded. And this album, we actually recorded a little bit differently. So the first time we did the traditional, we broke everything up into tracks. We did a drum track and then we did a guitar track over that. And we got that kind of a lot of those comments that it sound very clean and sound very almost like sterile. And we also got a lot of people telling us that like we love your album, but when you come see you on a stage, it's a totally different experience. And so we really wanted to make sure we could try and capture that a little bit better, so we opted to do live track the whole thing. We were all in the same room. We had the two guitar amps out across in other rooms, and we all just played together live as if we were, playing on the scene or something, And
Well, that's
yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly a way to do it.
Yeah.
To capture something different. Now, the band was nominated for Top Live Performance, among other things, last year. But I wanted to ask, what kind of work and consideration goes into the live presentation?
I mean, when we first started with our pyrotechnics team, they were shooting fire in places that we shouldn't have been.
Shouldn't
we
have
learned
been,
that the hard
yeah.
way.
Lost a lot of good drummers that way.
And a few,
good men.
And a few sets of eyebrows. I hear, too.
No,
It's actually the fourth lead guitar player they had. They just kept losing.
I'm well on my way out. Be gone in a few weeks.
Let me tell you, the release show, they got him they got a jetpack for the guy. It's gonna be a disaster.
our best game plan for every show is that we have no game plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a way to do it.
What's
Yeah,
the average set list look like?
Man, it's whatever we think of right then.
Yeah, we write on a napkin as we're walking on stage most of the time.
It comes from
And then Dan puts his drink.
and how
Yeah.
we're feeling that day and what we went through, and we have low curveballs that we like to pull out, and those are the ones that sometimes get everyone most excited.
And I think honestly, Dan and Luke kind of come from a more like indie rock, like singer-songwriter, like Elliott Smith, Modest Mouth kind of background. And me and Mike are big into Allman Brothers and Grateful Dead and Fish and like kind of this more jam side, like of jazz side of things. And I think when we play live, we try and take that indie rock, but also play it in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try and kind of merge the two sides a little bit.
Improving is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, what do you hope to achieve with this new album that you weren't able to with the last one?
Well, I mean, we had to cancel our first tour across Asia, because the success from the first record was so insane that we didn't know what to do with it. No,
It's almost too much,
yeah,
right? It's almost
yeah.
too much.
Probably on
Right?
this one that we can just really handle, keeping everyone happy. And I mean, it's just more foundation to work off of and to continue to keep playing with.
Yeah, this is really just kind of to solidify Mike into the lineup, because as we were told constantly how people love that we were a three-piece because we sounded so big for a three-piece, but we really felt like we needed that fourth guitar player, and this is kind of just solidifying Mike into that, that place.
Yeah, I think what's pretty important to like my integration into the band was like the base of the band. Like you already said, there's a lot of improv going on, right? So I was able to like come in like a free-flowing kind of like structure that like wasn't too structured, but structured just enough where I was able to slip in and do my thing, and it just made my life a lot easier that way.
Last question. What's the best advice someone has, given to either you guys as individuals or as a band regarding music?
Definitely just don't stop playing. That's what something I'll never forget. Someone told me, so it doesn't matter if you're just playing in your bedroom or if you're playing on stage for 1,000 people, whatever you do, just don't stop playing your instrument. Just like as soon as you stop playing, stop caring, then that's it. That just goes down the window.
And some days you could wake up feeling like that, but then you have to remember what's most important at the end of it, which is where you want to be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you've got a new record coming out this Saturday, playing a show at the Asbury Lanes. A lot to look forward to.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mercury Brothers.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I gotta scooch over there.
Okay.
Make sure you take Dan.
Yeah, take Dan with you too.
Yeah. Okay, good. Gotta adjust it back from Hobbit height. One More with Brian Erickson is brought to you and sponsored by You Don't Know Jersey. Founded in 2010 by Alice and Ed Madziak. Hey, You Don't Know Jersey has been covering all the best music, food, sports, arts, and cultural events that the Garden State has to offer for nearly a decade. Hey, Joyce, Brian Erickson's mom, give it up for Joyce! Hey, Joyce, do you want to know when the annual Little Egg Harbor Adult Film Festival and Toy Show is? Of course you do. I didn't know that's what it said. That was beautiful. Woo! Adult Film Festival, right? Not the normal kind.
Not the normal guy.
Hey, Luke! Weren't you just pondering aloud about the twice-yearly Clark Township axe-throwing competition and cured meat cook-off? Yes, you were, because you like axes, and you like meat, you vegetarian, because you have well-defined biceps and a palate that leaves much to be desired. If you know what I mean. So whether you're in High Point, Cape May, or anywhere in between, check out YouDon'tKnowJersey.com for the latest. You don't know Jersey, but they sure do. That's not their slogan. Brian.
Let's bring out our next guest. She is an award-nominated singer and drummer whose new album, When It Happens, is coming out very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Anna Dobkin. Hey, Rachel.
Hey.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course.
Is this all right?
Yeah, no,
Close
this
enough
is
to the
this
mic?
is great. I think
Okay,
we can kind of like adjust it
Can do one
out
of
there
these.
for you just a little bit.
All right.
Sorry.
Right up in your face.
Perfect.
No, didn't mean to.
It's like being at my therapist's office with this couch.
There you go. Well, Chris was just laying down in the intro, so I mean,
Right.
it is a lot of guests do consider this a very
It's comfortable.
therapeutic
It is very
experience.
On YouTube for the rest of the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
but feel free to say whatever you want.
Whatever you
No worry
want,
about
yes.
repercussions.
You know that will happen.
yeah.
So-
We're on a 10-second delay for you. And
Oh, God. Oh, thanks.
just gonna hit. This is gonna be a buzzer when you answer a question. Just.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you get the color bars. So when did you get started? Was there music around the house growing up? What?
So, yeah, I mean, growing up, I would say I've always been very musical, and I've always loved music for as long as I can remember. When I was 5 years old, my mom gave me the best of Ed Sullivan VHS tape.
Oh, wow.
And I think she might have even just like recorded it from TV.
That's
but,
fair.
But it was the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Rolling Stones, and the Four Seasons.
It's pretty much all you need. That's
And-
a good
yeah,
start.
That's a
right?
good swath of.
And like in that moment, I was like 5. I remember watching that and was like, "Yep, this is what I want to do with my life." Like no doubts. It was just something. And then like, you know, growing up, like my dad is a musician. He doesn't play anymore, but he always was playing music around the house. And same thing with my mom. She was like very involved in the music industry in
Oh, wow.
her 20s and 30s, and then married my dad and became a doctor's office assistant.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we come from a family where like, yeah, everyone's like very much so into music, and growing up, it was just always a passion of mine. So.
Excellent. And you and you kind of continue. You studied jazz at Bard College.
Yeah, I did. So, like growing up, I was surprise, a very anxious child, and
Well, you've got that
I
one
have to
song
say-
too. What is it? Love and
Love and
Anxiety? Yeah, of course.
yeah.
So
I'm a little nervous right now. Just
Oh, don't
spoiler
be.
alert.
You never would have
I
guessed.
wasn't, and then I got up here, and then all these lovely people are watching me, including the whole world, which is probably just like 2 people, because Mike doesn't even know where to find the link. So he's like, "We'll
Look,
watch
you
it
gotta
later."
check YouTube. It's a whole thing.
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, so you know, growing up, I was a very nervous kid. So like, I tried to play music, but I was way too like, I had really bad stage fright. So I was like, there's no way I could do this, and I sort of went into the route of being a visual artist instead.
Okay.
Painting and drawing, which I always did. And then when I got to college, I was like, okay, there are 2 things that I'm going to study, 2 classes I'm going to take, and one was photography and one was music.
Okay.
And that's what I ended up studying.
Excellent.
So yeah, and my jazz professors were super supportive, and they made sure, they're like, you should be playing all the time. You're very naturally talented, and just keep doing it, as frustrating as it is.
And the formality of that experience, how did that help shape your musicianship?
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about this the other day, how like as a band leader, I owe a lot to like my jazz professors, because like in classes, they would sort of like throw you into the fire. Like one of the classes I took was a Masters of Bebop class.
Oh,
which
wow.
Was what like the composer that we focused on that semester was Thelonious Monk. which is,
Excellent.
like insanity. Like, how do you make any sense of like a 17-note phrase? And you just do it, and then you're like, okay, this is music. This is amazing somehow. I don't know how this works, but every day in class, you were just like thrown to the wolves. You're like, okay, here, you guys are going to play this. You're going to break off into a group of 5. You're going to play this instrument. You're going to play that. And then you sort of have to like play band leader and do those things and be super uncomfortable. And then you would be improvising all the time. And then you realize once you're performing, you're doing the same thing, but in a different capacity, you know?
And did that help sort of ease a little bit of that initial stage fright?
Yes and no.
Like kind of just being thrown in and saying,
Yeah.
hey, this is like, you have to do this.
Yes, it did, but it was like a different kind. Like once I was like a real band leader and it was my own music, which comes with its like own emotional attachments.
Yeah.
It's totally different. But there are definitely things that are similar. So it definitely helped, but just like anything else, it takes a lot of time to just like do it again and again until you're comfortable enough. telling someone what to do.
Yeah. Do you do you have any favorite jazz players? I mean, as you were kind of studying, do you have any favorites?
I love Monk. He's
Yeah?
my favorite. Him
Excellent.
and Bill Evans are my two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, obviously there's like Miles Davis and Coltrane and all of them, but like there is something in particular about Thelonious Monk that I definitely
Yeah.
love.
Did a lot of really good work right here in New Jersey too at Van Gelder Studios.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, up
I
north.
realized that.
So you started out in New York City, right around like Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. Like I was up at Bard, which is where I studied music in upstate, and then I moved back home, and very briefly I was here in Asbury, but I had no luck like really breaking into the scene. Also because I knew I was sort of on my way out trying to go to New York, which actually the funniest thing is I saw the first Mercury Brothers show ever, which was at the oh my gosh, Molly Maguire's, was that it? In Rumson, used to have an open mic on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
And I had already met Dan, but I met Ryan and Luke. And it was the first time they ever played together as a three-piece. And they're like, did you guys even have a name yet? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. So I have really seen this band,
So this is perfect.
like,
This
grow.
is like the circle
Yep.
remains unbroken.
Yeah.
Like this is totally
Yeah.
appropriate.
That was a cute moment for me right there.
It's really amazing. And so
Guys, we're also old.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm older than all of you.
No, I am older than all of you.
Brian is 57, ladies and gentlemen. Give it
Hey,
up.
that's what happens. Is
you
where
look
put
great
on
for your 50s,
put on
Brian.
Doesn't look a day over 56.
put on sunscreen, take vitamins,
Drink a lot of water.
That whole thing.
Like-
Yeah, I
It's all about the water.
Hey.
water right there, guys. So, how does location inspire your songwriting? Because your music, like to me, your music feels like New York. I saw you. We
Interesting.
met probably like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Played a Noise in the Attic together, and I think I
Yeah.
remember saying
That was a special show.
that was a really good show. I think
Yeah.
Fern played that
There
one
were
too.
like 4 people in the audience, but there was something about that
Yeah,
show
that was really good.
That's Noise in the Attic.
Yeah.
And like your music feels like New York. I think I'd said like it reminded me of Jeff Buckley, just the real clear, clean
Yeah.
guitar tones, like the solo, even playing
Yeah.
solo electric.
Yeah.
How does location inspire
Well,
your writing?
I guess it's something I've never thought about. It's definitely like a subconscious thing because
Okay.
for me, writing is just about like an experience or something that I'm feeling in the moment, which I guess by default is affected by where
Yeah,
you
by
are
where you- by
and
where
your
you are.
location. I don't know. I mean, it's funny because like someone was asking me about Asbury Park and if like my location here in Asbury Park has affected my songwriting, and I guess to a certain extent it has.
That
But
was actually a question I had here too. But please go ahead.
We already answered it.
Yeah.
it was really like I guess like the people who are around you and what you're hearing, and also I don't know, I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest. I think
Okay.
it's a subconscious thing for me.
It subconsciously just kind of makes its way in.
'Cause-
And even if you're
yeah.
not singing specifically about like the city or
Right.
the beach, like even just the sound, the aesthetics, something like that could
Definitely
make its way in.
And I think for me it's more the people and the relationships,
Mm-hmm.
which definitely is like dictated by where you are. I mean, if I wasn't here, I wouldn't know like any of you guys. And I was thinking about how I met Joey, which was that one in at the Saint, and then I met Chris because Joey had invited me to the Firehouse to do the Boys First Girls, and then Chris and I had this epic podcast interview.
Yeah.
Which was like still one of my favorite days ever.
The old days of my Firehouse Studio podcast.
Oh,
May it rest
man.
in peace.
Is it still around? Can I hear it?
I think it's still on SoundCloud. Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm so grateful to this community, to Asbury Park, to all of you guys, to Chris and Joey, and they've been so pivotal in helping me make this record. And so, that definitely affects, and that definitely keeps me wanting to do this because it can be very dark and depressing and lonely.
It could be taxing.
It can be
Yeah.
very taxing. And
No.
every other day I'm ready to
We were
quit,
going through
but
the stress
no
of
sense.
finishing up albums at the
Oh
exact
my
same
God.
time, and like the desire to just lie on the floor and groan was strong.
Was
Yeah.
strong, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
We've really, these guys have helped me.
Never ever,
I'm-
folks, never book a release show before
No,
the album's
don't.
done.
That
Don't
is
ever do
the.
it.
If you
the
pull
long
one
line,
thing
yeah.
out of one
I'm
more,
pretty sure I have an ulcer now. I was telling. Yeah,
There's just so
not
many
worth it.
growths in my body because of the stress of that stuff.
I can see them starting to like
Well, no, that
try and escape.
I'm just out of shape.
Oh. So, and speaking of kind of being like taxed like
Yeah.
that, at one point you had started and were managing your own design company, Rad Designs, right?
Yeah.
And you had put out the Church Street demo, and now you work for Tri-City News. You're working on these new records, and you're curating shows at the Danny Clinch Gallery. Talk to us about multitasking.
It's insanity.
Okay.
I don't sleep much, and
That seems to be the through line with
Yeah,
almost everybody around here.
yeah.
Is nobody really gets a lot of sleep.
We're all very
because
sleepy.
everybody stays involved.
Hence why I've been wanting to do the big slumber party for OneMore.
So you could find. So we both.
yeah,
we
we can
all
just
could
all
finally
just get some
sleep.
goddamn
Jim,
sleep,
we
man.
can pitch a tent in here. Can
That'd
we
be
pitch
great.
a tent
Jim?
in the Music Foundation?
Jim
okay,
gave us permission.
Good. We have
Excellent.
the okay.
All right,
So,
Matt, we got a
let's-
Christmas episode, slumber party, pitching a
to
tent.
answer your question,
Yeah, let's talk about multitasking.
speaking of multitasking,
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like as a musician, as we all know, it's so hard to like even conceptualize making money based off of like our own art and like trying to put that into a business model and be like, hey, because this is a conversation I have with a lot of people who are not musicians or artists, which is this concept of success in music is not equated with success in the real world, which is making money.
Yeah.
So the only reason I have all of these different jobs and things that I do, which I do love and enjoy, I love doing graphic design. It's a different kind of like creative process, is to fund this music career that I have. I mean, and obviously the stuff at Danny Clinch Gallery is amazing, and that's all part of the music career as well. And I just feel like as artists, like we have to get super creative as to how we're gonna make money to fund our said
Yeah.
art.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, this project in particular has been way too much. I'll never put like this much on my plate, like doing an Indiegogo coming out at the same time as the singles coming out, and it's then a release show, which isn't even now really a release show, it's like a pre-release show, but it's all like part of the craziness of learning,
Now,
you know.
it's a Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
and the gallery is full of people. There's a band on stage, and everybody's really responding well. Talk to me about community and how important that all is to you.
Well, I think it's extremely important, and that's again why I have to say like thank you to Asbury Park. I love all of you guys. And going back to your original comment about New York, part of the reason I left New York is because there is no community.
Yeah.
It's really sad. There's so much talent, but there's no community. And a place like this, like I think in order for art to thrive and survive, you need community, you need support, you need people who are going to go out and see you play and buy your CDs. And all of us, like I put together this Lanes show, and I knew I wanted all of the bands on it that are on it right now because they're an integral part of our community. In fact, there are 10 more bands that I would have put on if I could, but that's not realistic. Because we all have to help each other, and
Yeah.
I think that's really important, and that's part of like my duty at the Danny Clinch Gallery is I really want to help all of these amazing musicians like the Mercury brothers, who now Danny and Maria love them, and as much as I can get all of these bands coming in, and the Burns, and Low Light, and Emily Grove, there's just so much talent, and it's so genuine. It's just I could go on and on about how much I love this.
And this
And
is
how thankful I am.
this has had no doubt had a positive impact on your work.
Yeah. You mean Asbury?
Or just like when the community sort of comes together.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm extremely grateful for that because again, it's another thing where like we can't survive without, it's impossible to do this alone. And that's part of why a community is important, and like supporting everyone and making sure that they have their voices heard,
Excellent.
in whatever capacity that means.
Now, you're a multi-instrumentalist, guitar, piano, drums. Do you play a multitude of parts on the new record, or did you
Yeah.
bring other people in, or was it a mix?
It's a little bit of a mix. So I've arranged the parts, so even if I'm not like playing the lead guitar parts, like that end guitar riff in Understand, where like it comes in and it doubles the bass line, like I wrote that part. And then I played drums on 6 out of the 9 songs on the record. My drummer who plays live with me, Andy Jackal, played the rest. Chris played bass.
All
Dan
right.
Haas played bass. Joey Henderson played some guitar. I played guitar. Ryan McLean played guitar. Mark Macefield played B3. Some of the horn players, Ian Gray, Bruce Karwinski.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I love Bruce.
Yeah, he's awesome. And Dennis Daly. And then Danny Clinch played harmonica as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I heard that on the new single.
Yeah. I can't forget that.
What's the one instrument you wish you were better at?
Guitar.
Oh, stop it.
No, I hate
no,
guitar.
stop
It's
it.
so overwhelming. Every time. If I don't warm
Sounds
up
like an
before a
expert
show,
level guitarist.
no, it's just because I practice.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
the
should
ideal.
try that sometimes, Brian. We should,
Oh,
like,
we should.
practice.
Well, we need to be less busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
To
I just
practice.
practice my songs. I don't have time to like practice anything else.
Yeah, like I know like 2 scales.
I
Yeah.
haven't played a scale since like college.
That's
It's
2
really
more
sad.
scales than I know how to
Hey.
So that's funny because my mom always says, like, I come home or she comes here, whatever. It's like, I never hear you play guitar anymore. But then it's, oh, I've got to go to a show. I got to go here. I got to go there.
Exactly.
And see, my mom is nodding back there. So
She knows what's up.
yeah, no, mom definitely does. So what's as we wrap up, I kind of have a fun question too. What's something you really enjoy that not many people know about? Because you present yourself in the public forum as in a couple different roles. But yeah, what's
something about me that not many people know? Well,
or something you enjoy?
I love being outside.
Yeah.
Like I'm a runner. I'm a very bad runner, but I love running because it's my time to decompress. And I love like if I go too many days without being able to go outside, I go crazy. I will be a very angry, prickly person. And my boyfriend can attest to that. Sorry, Mike.
Now, your latest single, this will be our last question. Your latest single, Understand, has a line that goes, so consumed by what you all would think of me if I could just be that one next to me. If you could just be Chris Dubrow.
It's about me. I think we can announce now. I am Rachel's muse.
Wow.
I am
No,
the
that
well,
is not
I'm the Uma Thurman to your Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, I love you, Chris. But
So
It's
Okay.
not. No,
I wanted to ask you the importance of having your work validated by others.
okay. So I feel like this is something I struggle with enormously, which is why I wrote this song about like our obsession of comparing ourselves,
Yeah.
especially in today's day and age.
And especially in such a tight-knit scene when
Yeah.
everybody's shows are bumping up against
Right.
each other, everybody's albums are.
Right.
It's
Well, I don't even think about Asbury as that, because Asbury to me is like a safe haven. Asbury's
Yeah.
like everyone is going to accept you and love you for who you are. That's more about like the outside world and trying to just like, it's just hard. I mean, as artists, we're all trying essentially to get people to notice us and accept us. And that's like, it's like that's almost an impossible thing, like to try and get someone to see you in a certain way. It's like you're going down a rabbit hole there that it's like so I think that like, yeah, I mean, I struggle with issues of like constantly comparing myself to other people, and it does exist in this scene too. Everyone's very good, and it's hard not to. It's like human nature, but it's like realizing that it's just ridiculous because we're all going through our own struggles.
yeah. Well, you've written a song that's quite relatable.
Thank
I find.
you.
And we're going to hear that as
Aw.
part of your performance.
I'm gonna
in a
play
couple
that.
minutes?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Rachel Anna Dobkin, thank you so much. This has
Thank
been our
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take it away, Chris.
I gotta adjust the microphone. Once again, from Hobbit. Hi. Hey everyone! One More with Brian Erickson is brought to you live from the Asbury Park Music Foundation. The APMF, or AMP if you're feeling lucky, raises money to support youth music programs throughout Asbury Park that provide lasting skills, self-confidence, and life-changing experiences for underserved kids in our community. This includes funding for the Hip Hop Institute at the Boys and Girls Club of Monmouth, in-school music programs at Hope Academy, and scholarships for kids to attend the Lake House Music Academy located just over there. The APMF also hosts free summer concert series to bring communities together through the power of music. Music Mondays at Springwood Park brings the past and present together to showcase what Asbury has to offer. The Asbury Park Concert Band, now in its 73rd year of shows on the boardwalk, playing jazz and big band music, and Asbury Park Live on Wednesdays in front of Mogo and Watermark, which spotlights emerging bands from all over New Jersey. If you're interested in keeping Asbury Park's legacy of music alive by making a meaningful difference for the underserved youth in our community, head to Asbury Park Music Lives or AsburyParkMusicLives.org to make a donation. And while you're there, pick up a Music Saved Asbury Park t-shirt. All proceeds make it possible to support Music Save My Life youth program. Jim, thank you very much for indulging us and letting us do this stupidity every week. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to buy her some time because I hear she's still tuning. Give it up for the one, the only, big sis, Rachel Anna Dobkin!
Almost there. I just got my strings changed like two days ago, so.
Say it into the microphone.
I just got my strings changed 2 days ago. So, like Brian was saying, this is the new single off my record. It's called Understand. Shifting into view, wondering if you knew what this all really means. I'm a lucky man. I can't compete with what you really have, 'cause I don't know what you're going through, and you don't give any circumstance with which we could try to understand who you are, that you are just a man. Stumbling on the ground. Oh, look what I found. So consumed by what I would think of me if I could just be that one next to me. But I don't know what you're going through, and you don't give any circumstance with which we could try to understand who you are, that you are just a man. Thank you. Okay. Do you want me to play another? Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the second single. It's coming out on Thursday. So get ready. Okay, this is a song. It's called Always. I could see the way you look into my eyes just right every night. And I love the funny feeling that I get inside every time. We are not the types of sit and let a good thing pass us by, and that's why I am yours and you are mine. And life has a way of leaving today the past where it should remain. And all that it took to send you my way, I'd go through it all if it meant I have you always. Always. Growth is what I hope to do when you are by my side. I'm so alive, yes. A chance to finally feel what it is all about without the doubt. Know that I'll be there for you no matter what we see, and you will be, and always trying patiently. And life has a way of leaving today the past where it should remain. And all that it took to send you my way, I'd go through it all if it meant I have you always. Always. I am with you and I am trying to let go 1,000 times. And you are with me and you are kind and you don't even need to try. And I am tired and I have tried to give up 1,000 times, but you won't let me. No, you just make me pick it up and dust it off. Loving always, knowing always that it is gonna be alright. Always with you, always to be true. No matter what we do, I'm with you. I'll be there. Always. Always. Thank you.
Ain't that the best damn thing you ever did see? Donate to Indiegogo, ladies and gentlemen. All right, show for this week, September 3rd, Tuesday, September 4th, the Vlasic Classic open mic at the Chubby Pickle. You know, the Chubby Pickle. They got beer and shit. Wednesday, September 5th, Christine Mitchell, Dave Mooney, and Joe Vazzer at the Downtown Inn, Red Bank. Thursday, September 6th, God Forgive These Bastards, a stage adaptation of the Taxpayers 2012 album, the same name, begins its 8-night run at the Fire in Philadelphia. Why do you care? Because our good friend Jesse McCormick is putting this all together. That's why. The shows are pay what you want. So go to the Fire in Philadelphia or check out Hum and Bard's Facebook page for more details. God Forgive These Bastards is such a good album. Tara Dent is at Rockwood Music Hall, New York City at 7 p.m. I'm going to be there. Seven Hats Parade leads Jeff Linden and Video Shop are at dusk in Providence, Rhode Island. If you're in Providence, Rhode Island, may God have mercy on your soul. Friday, September 7th, Renee Maskin of the band Low Light plays Irish Records in Jersey City at 7 p.m. The writer of such hits as The Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang and Tough Fucking Shit by Gigi Allen, Dave Vargo, is playing Dragonfly Music and Coffee Cafe in Somerville with Jack Petruzzi and Cameron Greeter. That's at 7 p.m. The Van Saders, Crip Keeker 5, Bobby Mahoney and Chris Brown are at the APYC at 8:30. Tara Dente and P.I. Jacobs are at the Asbury Hotel at 8. Saturday, September 8th, Hub City Sounds featuring last week's guest, Experiment 34. It's at Boyd Park, New Brunswick. That's 1 p.m. Go there. Bob Macon will be there. You will also be there. The 4th annual Bond Street Block Party featuring Ty Benz, Gay Guy, Straight Guy, Ribeye Brothers, Dentist, and Rock and Roll High Fives at 2 p.m. It's on Bond Street. It's a block party. It's a Bond Street Block Party. Dave Mooney, Finding Phoebus, Brave You, and Telethon, a band that wrote a rock opera about the internet, are at the Asbury Hotel at 9 p.m. Tonight's two guests, Rachel and Dobkin and the High Anxiety Blues Band and the Mercury Brothers are at the Asbury Lanes. That's at 9 p.m. Just go there. It's going to be a good show. Emily Grove will be there. You have my word. Sunday, September 9th, R.J. Noble's band, the Brothers Union, and the Bad Blooms are at the Scarlet Pub at 8 p.m. And close out your weekend with Goddamn Levin the Oaks at the Seafair Bar at 5 p.m. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mercury Brothers, get up for Dan Appy. Guys, he's trying to play his song.
All right, let's do this. All right. Come on back out, Rachel.
Great job. Thanks so much for being on.
Also, the show starts at 8 on Saturday.
Show starts at 8.
Show starts at 8 on set.
You will miss your
I think it said it on the event page.
No, it says 9 p.m.
Does it?
On
9
the-
or well, it's at 8
any
either way.
case-
Asbury Lane Saturday at 8 p.m.
Well,
Come see the Mercury Brothers. Come see Rachel Anna Dobkin. Chris is going to be there too. I'm going to be there. For everybody here, Asbury Park Music Foundation. This has been OneMore. I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. We'll see you next week.